So, what Kimmy, 1 month of work, no panic attacks since doing regulation tools. Amazing. So, if you guys don't know what the regulation tools are, in my free community, in my bio, there's a course on 7 regulation tools that help you reset your nervous system. And I believe Kimmy, pardon me, told me she did it 3 times a day, morning, afternoon, evening, which is amazing. And anyone who doesn't do that, I highly suggest you do that. Right, Silo, bro, I am using antidepressants. Okay, so a lot of people ask me whether they should go on medication, what medication they should go on. So I'm not gonna tell you guys what medication to do or whether to go on medication or not go on medication. I am just going to go with the fact that your nervous system, your body, knows what to do. It's whenever it's dysregulated or your brain doesn't think you're safe is when you start, feeling anxious symptoms and anxious thoughts. The funny thing is, a lot of people feel that, this is just the way they are and this is the way their body is, and that's not true. Your natural state is actually calm. Your natural state is actually out of fight or flight. It's whenever you stay in fight or flight for too long, like there's no threat, there's no danger, and for some reason your brain and body still don't feel safe and you stay in fight or flight, that's when the real issue happens. And that's when you think, this is my natural state because I'm in fight or flight all the time. Does that sort of make sense, guys? Alright, feel free to ask more questions, guys. And let me go back to kind of the framework that I've been... Okay, there we go. Mevini, Mevenai. I hope I'm not pronouncing that wrong. Hi Gabe, how do I deal with really bad health anxiety? My body is exhausted from overthinking. Alright, good question. So I had health anxiety too. I had IBS and a few other chronic health issues, and I was really anxious and obsessively thinking about it and then going along in that cycle. And it is really exhausting. So first of all, I understand you and I hear you. Now, there's a couple of things you can do. First thing is to understand what state your nervous system is in, right? So notice when you are triggered by your health anxiety. Then do something that helps when you're triggered about your health anxiety. Whether that's a regulation tool like Kimmy, whether that's dancing, whether that's exercise, whether that's listening to music. Do something that helps you regulate. Now, the third thing is offering compassion to whatever you're anxious about. So for example, let's say you're anxious about your health. What you want to do is imagine that situation, feel it using somatic tracking in your actual body. What I mean by that, your anxiety about your health. Where actually do you feel that emotion? Like where in your body do you feel that emotion? Like is it in your chest? Is it in your belly? Actually create mindfulness of where that emotion is in your body. And now once you've created mindfulness of that emotion in your body, be curious, like what does it actually feel like? Does it change moment to moment? Is it a tightening? Is it a stabbing? What does that emotion of anxiety or fear about your health, where do you actually feel it in your body? And you're not trying to get rid of it, you're not trying to push it away, you're not trying to change it, you're just being curious. And when you are just being curious, you can't be afraid. And the reason you can't be afraid is the same part of your brain that processes anxiety is the same part of your brain that processes curiosity. So if you just be curious about where you feel that emotion, right? Then the third step is to offer it metta, which means self-compassion. So to recap, understand what state your nervous system is in, do a down regulation technique like regulation tools, music, dancing, whatever works for you to get yourself out of that state. Then offer self-compassion to the emotion in your body. So whether that's the emotions in your stomach or your neck, or wherever it is, find it using somatic tracking, which is pretty much just creating body awareness of the emotion. And offer compassion. Like if you were to give this health anxiety, this emotion, compassion and love, what would that feel like? Like if you were to not try to get rid of it, and you were just literally just loving your emotion, loving that fear, loving that shame, what would that feel like? And you're doing this to kind of reframe and rewire the thoughts you have about yourself and reframe emotions in your nervous system to kind of release that trauma. Because there's something called emotional debt, right? So whenever we feel negative emotions, our natural instinct is to not let ourselves feel it. And what that does is it doesn't really let us truly process like the emotion, right? We just think, okay, I don't want to feel this anxiety. I don't want to feel this shame. Let me just suppress it. And then when you suppress it, your body's not really processing and feeling it, so it's stored in your nervous system, right? And then this builds up over time, and then you kind of, you know, have a dysregulated nervous system. Okay, you're welcome, Vivian. So, can I use antidepressants? Man, I'm not gonna tell you what you can and can't use because I don't know your body and I'm not your doctor. All I would say is I healed my anxiety naturally, and I said no to medication because I wanted to heal naturally. Because ultimately, some people do, my view of medication is like some people do need medication, right? Some people have tried all the natural things and they just need something to have a leg to stand on, and I get that. But a lot of GPs and a lot of doctors, especially in the US and the UK, as soon as you say have anxiety or like a little depression, they'll say, okay, let me prescribe you antidepressants, let me prescribe you anti-anxiety medication. And they won't actually ask, okay, what are your routines? What kind of choices are you making? What are you doing exposure therapy? They don't ask any things like that. They just kind of prescribe medication. So, and the thing is that that's kind of like temporary, right? It's not a permanent cure. Your anxiety is still going to be there. It almost like just numbs your experience. Obviously different medication is different. Georgia, you have the nicest lips. Thank you. They're the worst. I agree. Because for example, with me, it affected my digestion, right? So, and they gave me medication and also antibiotics, and it just made my health so much worse that I was like, okay, I'm not really gonna trust the doctor anymore. I wanna do what's best for me. Like my body was telling me, okay, this maybe medication isn't the right route. Okay. Girl, that's Johnny suffering really bad from anxiety. I hear you. Thank you for the follow, Georgia Crook. Girl, that's Johnny. What did you do to heal naturally? So, a couple things, right? The first thing I would do is practice a regulation tool that works for you every day so that you can do something when you're anxious. And whether that's something like the physiological sigh, where you take 2 inhales and a long exhale, whether that's something like somatic shaking, where you stand up and shake your body, whether that's going for a run. Try a bunch of different techniques. All of them don't have to work, but 1 or 2 of them will work well for your body. When you find that 1 or 2 that does work well with your body, do it and actually stay consistent with it. The second thing comes down to your habits, right? So in the morning, a lot of anxious people, we stay in the bed, we go on our phone, we have dooming, gloomy thoughts about our day, and like, oh, I have to think about my health or all this, and when am I gonna feel better, and is the symptoms gonna go away? Instead of doing that, get up right away. Go take a walk for 5, 10, 15 minutes with the sunlight in your eyes. If it's not sunny where you are, turn on some artificial lights, and then when it is sunny, get some sunlight in your eyes. Other things, right? So I call this the big 5, right? So sunlight in the morning, right? Nutrition, make 80% of your diet whole foods. That's really important. Your gut is connected to your serotonin, your immune system, and so on. Sleep, you need 7 to 9 hours. When you're anxious and healing, you'll end up sleeping more, so let yourself sleep more. Exercise, some sort of resistance training, right? So whether that's running, weightlifting, sprinting, move your body, get your heart rate up, increase your body's ability to tolerate stress, right? And the last thing, if I'm not mistaken, is healthy social connection, right? So anxiety isn't bad and stress isn't bad, but an inability to deal with anxiety and stress is bad, right? So stress and anxiety isn't bad, but your lack of ability to deal with stress and anxiety is bad. Do these things and it'll help your body's ability to deal with stress. And if you can deal with stress, you won't actually go into fight or flight all the time. Okay. At Georgia, okay. I'm taking antidepressants, but they're not working. Leah Hendricks, Have you seen your anxiety become worse again for a while, just when you were doing a lot better? Yes, all the time. I felt a lot of the time that I was taking like one step forward and three steps back, and that's okay. The way I kind of got over that is I stopped judging if I was getting better based on the intensity of my symptoms. And I really altogether stopped focusing so much on my symptoms and just focused on what my actions are. What are the daily inputs? What are the things I can control? I can't control if I have a symptom at 1 p.m. or if I don't. But I can control what I do that day. I can control if I meditate. I can control if I go for a walk. I can control if I go exercise. I can control if I eat healthy. Like, I can control if I do my exposure therapy that day. Focus on the things you can control instead of judging whether you feel better or not based on your symptoms. Because your symptoms will naturally go away when you heal your nervous system. So just do the right things to heal your nervous system. Natalia, health to all. Katrina, are you Muslim? No, I'm not. But I respect Islam and what it teaches. LM1, I was a traumatized child, and my health was destroyed now. So I get that, and I'm really sorry that trauma happened to you. But that's the cards you were dealt, and that's okay. Like, you can't control what happened in the past or the trauma that happened to you. But what you can control is your actions in the present moment and the future. Who you are now and what you do in these 6 months will define your life in a year from now, right? So what I would suggest to you is, don't be a victim. Don't say my trauma destroyed me, my parents destroyed me, and don't be a victim to life. You're in control of your life, and this is painful, but you need to take proper responsibility for your life. Like, I know shitty things have happened and shitty things happen to us, but they don't define us. Because if we say shitty things happened to us and it destroyed me, we're giving away our power to external circumstances instead of ourselves. And when you truly realize that I am in control of my life, I am responsible for my life, that's when you start taking positive action to change your life. Thank you for the follow. I'm the best. Aman, are intrusive thoughts subjective to your anxiety and intensified over time? They could be, right? So the best thing to do with intrusive thoughts is to just observe them, right? This is why meditation is helpful, because you can observe your intrusive thoughts without getting lost in a story about your intrusive thought. Because it's like you have one intrusive thought, and another intrusive thought, and another intrusive thought, and that can kind of feel like it's intensifying. So my suggestion with intrusive thoughts is A, define them. So write it down or say it out loud, so it kind of loses your power over you. And the second thing is meditation to help actually notice your thoughts. Okay. Okay. Rory Mack, did you ever have a high heart rate standing up and tingling in your head? So naturally when you're in fight or flight, the natural response to your nervous system is your heart rate increases. So that's, it's not really, maybe standing up is like a trigger for you, but when your nervous system is in fight or flight, your heart rate will increase. Tingling in the head. What I had in my head was I had tinnitus, which was ringing in my ears, and I had a lot of tension in like my temples and my suboccipital because of the stress I was under. Okay. Angel, did you get muscle tension a lot? Yes, I had a lot of muscle tension, particularly in my shoulders, my hips, my neck, really the places you store stress. And things that helped me, meditation helped me relax and soften my body, moving slow, yoga, that helped a lot, proper breathing. Sandra, can you talk a bit more about positive reframing of symptoms of anxiety to help lower intensity? Yeah, so if I give an example, right? My panic attacks came back and my health is shit again. Okay, my panic attacks came back. Alright, well, if my panic attacks didn't come back, it wouldn't have made me take my exposure therapy more seriously. It wouldn't have made me take meditation more seriously. It wouldn't have forced me to do XYZ. Now, because of XYZ, how can I do something positive as a result of a negative situation. So there's a famous quote, and it's like, the desire for a positive experience is a negative experience, but the acceptance of a negative experience is actually a positive experience. And what that basically means is wanting something to change or wanting something to be positive when it's negative is like negative. But if you actually accept that negative experience, it's actually kind of positive. And then you can use that to reframe. Now, another example, right? So if I give an example of something that happened recently. Okay, so I was when I was in Albania the other week, and because I was in Albania, we rented a car, and we really shouldn't have, because it was really dangerous driving in Albania, and because of that car, I was so much more anxious when I was driving. I was like, oh my god, everyone's just like driving through red lights here. And then I kind of and I was like really feeling really anxious each time I had to drive. And I just reframed it, okay, this is gonna help me be a better driver, help me be more alert, let me test my skills. So that's one way you can reframe it. So like, what can I learn and what positive action can I take? Right card, can we message? Do you reply? I have a worry. Depends, but I would suggest you just ask me a worry now, because I get a lot of DMs. Valentina, but what if sleep is affected? Waking up at night or too early in the morning? So if your sleep is affected, a couple of things I would do. Sunlight in the morning to regulate your circadian rhythm. No phone, food, water, like an hour before bed. Lower your body temperature when going to sleep. So take off more clothes, reduce the thermostat, open a window. It helps because your body temperature needs to drop by a degree or two when you're sleeping. Mouth tape, put tape over your mouth. You can buy that, or you can just use tape, but that'll ensure you breathe from your nose throughout the night. And I know some people feel it's weird, but honestly, just you kind of got to get over it, because you need to breathe from your nose when you're going to sleep, and sleep is really important. So start with those things first, and then just notice how you feel. It's Chanel. Hey, hi. Chantel, I'm suffering from extreme anxiety in the morning. I'm feeling I'm going to die. I know, anxiety makes you feel like it's the end of the world, and that's why those people get loads of medical tests done, and they call their doctors, and they call it a safe person. But you'll be okay. My vision is off. I feel pressurized when I stand up. Yeah, because you're in fight or flight. Your body's not supposed to be pumping cortisol and adrenaline, these stress hormones all throughout your body. What I would suggest, Chantel, first of all, just adjust your posture, right? Because posture can impact it a lot. The second thing is breathing, right? Try and breathe properly from your diaphragm. Have you ever worked with someone who feels unbalanced 24/7? Yeah. So with balance, there's a couple of things that can affect it, right? So you could go to a PRI specialist or a strength and conditioning coach, and they could discover that, like your left psoas is tight, or like you have an anterior pelvic tilt or something like that, where there's like a biological impediment, let's say, in your body that means you're out of balance, right? For other people, they have ear problems, pressure problems, that puts them out of balance. I am going to talk specifically if your balance issues are due to anxiety itself, okay? So if your balance issues are due to anxiety itself, then what you want to work on is literally just moving slow, right? Let your body naturally find its balance. And then when you're sitting down, notice your balance. Am I putting more weight on my left side? Am I putting weight more on my right side? In nervous system practice, this is called orienting, right? Where you're just like feeling like, okay, is all my weight on my left side? Am I sitting on my right sitting bone more or my left sitting bone more? That's what I would suggest first. Right card, can I message you in private about a topic? Sure. Okay. Thank you for the follow, Buddha lady. Kimmy, yes, Gabe, you're so right. Thank you. Zach, thoughts on antidepressants? I kind of already mentioned my thoughts on medication. I think for some people it's necessary. Some people like to use it alongside natural remedies. All I will say is do natural remedies as well, right? If you're going to do medication. If you're not sure, try natural remedies first. Don't be lazy, right? It's your body. You deserve to take action for it. A pill is a quick fix. It's just temporary relief. Don't be lazy. Human beings are like, We're conditioned to be lazy. I know with phones and entertainment and porn, we're conditioned to be lazy. And I know with anxiety, it's exhausting. But you only have one body. You only have one mind. You deserve to respect it, and it deserves your time and your effort. So please, keep yourself accountable and just take action. Okay. Okay. TZ, did you have depersonalization? Yeah. It's a really common. The reason you get depersonalization or derealization is because of the chronic stress you're under. Your brain disassociates from your human experience to cope. Kimmy, I love your video. Do it scared, do it anxious. Thank you. Maya, Jesus loves you so much. All right. Are, I make myself. Okay, that's you guys talking to each other. My bad. TZ, how can I make my DPDR better? I feel like I'm in a dream. So when you start regulating your nervous system, your DPDR will naturally go away, because DPDR isn't the issue, but your nervous system being dysregulated is the issue. So if you focus on what is making my nervous system dysregulated, what am I afraid of, what triggered it, and you focus on habits like meditation, exposure therapy, nutrition, sleep, that'll naturally make your DPDR go away. But the DPDR isn't the main cause. Okay, Chantel, I have cardiophobia and I want to walk so bad. Start by walking slow. Walk 5 minutes first, right? Take baby steps. Bro, how do we deal again with setbacks, with letting go? So with setbacks, right? The best way I like to deal with setbacks is through positive action. A lot of people think when you have a setback, that's like kind of ruined your progress and you have to stay back, right? The whole point of a setback isn't to like be set back forever. It's just a momentary thing that happens in the moment or a few moments, and now you feel like you've taken a few steps back, and that's fine. The best course of action is positive action to move forward. So go play that meditation, go on that walk, go do that workout, go do that exposure therapy. Take positive action towards whatever the setback is relating. I don't work at Specsavers. Holly, are these recorded? I missed some of these. Yes, these are recorded and they're uploaded in my community, in my bio, and they're free. Hey, what do I do now that my symptoms are making me anxious, but I know what's causing the symptoms? So if you're really worried about physical symptoms, somatic tracking really helps your symptoms. Regulation tools helps your symptoms. But your symptoms aren't the cause, right? They're just a side effect. So focus on what's actually making you anxious, whether that's your habits, whether that's trauma. Focus on that. Not focus as in don't think about that. I mean, take positive action for that. User 79, bunch of numbers. I have started feeling better since I started following you. Thanks so much. You're welcome. That makes me happy. Chantel, thank you for the tips. You're welcome. Okay. I'll answer a few more questions, guys, and then I gotta go. Okay, so is it good to make everything slowly and move slowly? Yes, that's fine. Moving slow is one of the easiest ways to regulate your nervous system. And softening your body is also another really easy way to regulate your system, where you kind of just let go of the tension in your body. So I really suggest that. Especially with things that you can't avoid doing, like brushing your teeth and so on. Give that. How do I deal with intrusive thoughts and DPDR? So meditation is my suggestion. Avoid weed, avoid doom scrolling, avoid being on your phone all day. Go outside, take a walk, learn to become more present, move your body, reconnect with your body. I have medication phobia and deal with raw emotions. Practice mindfulness. The only way out is through, right? It's not like, how can I do this so I don't have to feel my emotions? The only way out is through, where you actually like feel them. Mariam, what does intellectualizing feelings mean? Intellectualizing feeling is basically like you're trying to overanalyze why you feel something and trying to find so many answers and logical steps. Like, okay, instead of, well, you're doing everything except actually feeling them, right? Detached vibes. Where are you from? I'm from Northern Ireland. That's where I live. It's in the UK. Did you ever experience some sort of stabbing pain at the back, on the left side and front? Not really, but that's just how your body is kind of manifesting anxiety. The point isn't to understand who feels that specific symptom. If you've done all the medical tests and you're actually healthy, just let whatever symptom come. It's okay. You're gonna get new symptoms, and sometimes you might not get any symptoms, but that's okay. Just focus on what you can control. Okay. Okay. What to do when you feel off and sweating when you check your blood pressure and it's higher than usual? Do some sort of regulation technique in the moment. So, do a breathing technique. Move your body soft, move your body slow. Let it be high. You worrying about your BP is not going to make it lower. Mariam, how do I stop intellectualizing my feelings? By feeling them. Like, so by like using mindfulness to help you feel it. Actually notice where you feel that feeling in your body. ZV Studio, best regards for the best person I meet. It's Igor. Hi Igor, how's it going, man? Randa, how to manage when I feel off balance? Adjust your posture first, then move slowly, feel into your balance, soften your body. What about OCD? So with OCD, since a lot of people who have anxiety have like heightened OCD, what I would suggest is defining your OCD, like defining the fears, and meditation to actually gain awareness of it. There's studies on how meditation helps OCD. ZV Studio, first meditation done. Amazing, Igor. I'm proud of you, man. Post that as a win. I want to see that as a win. Post that as a win in the Happy Healing community. Kylo, thanks. I'm so scared when I check my BP. Did you take BP medication? No, I personally didn't. And Kylo, just don't check your BP then. Unless it's like a medical emergency, don't check your BP if it's just going to make you think and be afraid about it. Alright guys, thank you so much for the likes. And I'll answer one more question and then I'll let it go. So, Mabali, how do you recover from derealization? So becoming present, right? That's really how you recover. So you reconnect with your body, mindfulness, exercise, avoid negative habits that make derealization work, like weed, doom scrolling, things like that. Okay. Thank you for your questions, guys. And I will see you guys in the next live. I usually go live 6 p.m. UK time. I went a little early today. And this is recorded, so if you guys join the community, you can access to the recordings. And, okay. Is pain in your left arm common with anxiety? Yes. A lot of people experience pain in their body. How can I stop harming thoughts on myself? Define your thoughts, and you can manually visualize them to make them lose a power on you. I have a panic attack when people go far away. I feel like they're far away, I can't breathe. Cheska, how people go far away through baby steps and then get comfortable with that and then build yourself up. Alright guys, I really gotta go. Thank you for your questions and take care.